Bostig was started by me going to Jim, who had a shop. I had a Boston Bob engine and came all the way up to Massachusetts to meet Bob and looked at his operation and thought, okay, I'm going to go to Boston Bob. I went with his, he called it a big valve. So I had a little more power, I guess a little more low end torque. And got it in my van and I got maybe like 15,000 miles on it. And what had happened was I was actually at a Cinco de Mayo event in West Virginia and forded a river. And with the exhaust being hot and water being cold, it cracked the O2 sensor. It was just dumping fuel into the engine. I drove from West Virginia to New York in a Synchro, which has an 18-gallon tank, and I was getting maybe 60 miles to a tank. I had spent all this money and was really frustrated and said, all right, I'm not doing that again. And I went to Jim and I said, dude, we got to put something else in this van. I either want to do Subaru or diesel.
All right, so here are my available options for an engine swap. Which one of these is best? And I looked at them and I said, you know, actually for 2004 and the $5 or so you're talking about, these are all awful options. None of these are any good. And I said, you know, actually, I'm pretty sure we can roll our own better than anything that's out there already. Let's just give it a shot and see what we get. Started looking at all of the issues associated, things I didn't like about the other ones that were already out there, and came up with a list of things that we actually, absolutely had to avoid, and came up with the things that it had to be.
But Jim knew me and knew that I'm going to need something that can handle me. And when it breaks, he also knows that I'm not rich, so he knew that I need to be able to afford to replace it, repair it, or be able to replace and repair it, physically and financially. And Jim's like, what about a Z-Tech? And I'm like, the hell's a Z-Tech?
So we wanted something that would A, fit, B, was widely available, where we could take advantage of the economies of scale, something that had been widely produced. We better be sure that this is going to have a long life, it's going to do what we need it to do, and we're not going to have any problems with it, right?
So I was in New York, I picked one up, it had 23,000 miles on it, I picked it up for 300 bucks, drove it up to Boston, and before you knew it, we were thinking, maybe the folks in the community would be interested. We put it out to the community, before you knew it, it was like 3, 4, 5 guys were like, yeah, I'll take one, here's my money.
When we set out to start becoming a manufacturer and deliver the engine kit as kind of our first product, we kind of approached it and we wanted to be and emulate more kind of the same scope as a car manufacturer, not just a part supplier, because that was part of really what we thought was wrong with the way it's been done. And so we wanted to approach it the same way, to address all of those bits and pieces. Give the customer the documentation, give them value above and beyond just the set of parts by a lot.
We look at our product and say, well, how can we tie it all together and make it better? As we're out there and things fail, how can we make it better? What can we do to further make it Brady-proof?
We're the central point of contact. We get all the feedback through, we get it into the documentation. Then in the next iteration, all of what we've learned, every single thing, gets assessed and pushed back into the new development. That actually does make a huge difference. Our whole approach has been kind of concerted effort from the very beginning to allow all these things to build on strength, build on strength, build on strength. The modular approach, tightly controlling all of the information that we get back from customers, as well as what we disseminate to customers, to lower confusion levels, keep things simple, keep things so that there's upgrade paths, and we set the organization up to do that from the very beginning. I think it's important, and so that's what we've set out to do. And I think nobody would argue that what we have been able to accomplish isn't impressive.